Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. And I dare say that many of the things you are seeing in Nigeria today, the fight on social media and elsewhere, is a fallout. They are fallouts from the 2023 presidential election, which is not yet over until the Supreme Court rules. Now, you can see it manifest in the selective outrage over forgery allegations leveled against Mmesoma, a student of a secondary school in Anambra State, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the allegation of certificate forgery leveled against him again at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. That deals selective outrage shows you a clear picture of what's going on in Nigeria. That Nigerians are indeed tolerant of corruption. Nigerians even celebrate corruption, but not all Nigerians, because you can bet many Nigerians voted against corruption in the 2023 presidential election. They voted against it. But because corruption has become so overwhelming in Nigeria, corruption overwhelmed the generality of Nigerians who wanted a change in their country. And it may remain so unless the Supreme Court comes to the rescue of Nigerians. But there's a history to what you are seeing play out in Nigeria right now. I want to remind Nigerians of a 1968 Polish-British sociologist named Stanislaw Andrzejewski. He coined the term Cryptocracy to describe the system of government he found in Nigeria. He said, and I quote, "Nigeria is the most perfect example of kleptocracy, since power itself rests on the ability to bribe." He said, power in Nigeria rests on the ability to bribe. And you know right now, those who are being celebrated in Nigeria as political juggernauts, political heavyweights, those who are seen as the fathers of politics in Nigeria, are those who fit into what this sociologist found out about Nigerian politics in 1968. That power rests on the ability to bribe. You know those who were able to bribe their way to get the APC presidential ticket, to get the APC senatorial ticket, to get the APC House of Reps ticket, to get the APC governorship ticket. You know those who bribed to get the PDP presidential ticket, governorship ticket, and all that. The allegation of bribery that characterized the APC and PDP nominations is out there in the open. A simple type in the Google will tell you about the dollar rain. The reports on how they were buying delegates. Dollar rain. It fits into an exact picture of this Polish sociologist. That in Nigeria is a perfect example where power rests on the ability to bribe. He coined this kleptocracy. There was no word like kleptocracy until 1968, when it was coined by this Polish-British sociologist. And we are still living proof of that. He said the one that can bribe more is the one that get the power. That is why even right now, a lot of people believe that the judiciary cannot save the system, because in line with this thinking, this study by this Polish-British author who did a research on corruption in Nigeria, Stanislav Andreescu, that power itself rests on the ability to bribe. So those who they believe in their thinking have the largest war chest to bribe, they believe that they have already bought the judiciary. Those of us who are looking up to the judiciary to be the last hope of the common man, they think we are living in fool's paradise. But I bring this up for you to know how our country has gotten rotten, and the world are laughing at Nigeria. And then when you see the same people who support those who bribe themselves to power, getting outraged because a secondary school student manipulated her JAMB results, you begin to wonder, do you really have to take their outrage serious? Do you have to take their outrage serious? Nelson Mandela of blessed memory say any man who changes his principle based on who he is dealing with is not worthy to lead a people. Any man who changes his principle based on who he is dealing with is not worthy to lead a country or a society. Nelson Mandela. So those who changes their outrage depending on who was involved, they are not worthy to be leaders. Unfortunately, they constitute the bulk of leadership in Nigeria. We witness it at the presidential election, primaries of the APC and the PDP, where it's all over the newspapers. Dollar rain for delegates, dollar rain. It doesn't matter your capacity. It doesn't matter your health condition. It doesn't matter anything. If you have the money, bring the dollars. Dollar rain. And they got the power. Just in line with this British sociologist found out in Nigeria. So we have not been able to extricate ourselves from the bad habits of our fathers. Power is still being transmitted based on who bribes the highest. And the system is even helping it to be so. You want to be governor, you want to be president of Nigeria, they slam the application form, 100 million. They put the application form, 60 million. And people with questionable means of income will grab the form, buy so many of them, even and distribute to their friends, just to come and create a charade on the day of the primaries, to give impression that was democracy. Now these same people are outraged that Mmesoma forged JAMB results. But many of them are not outraged that Abacha stole Nigeria's money throughout his administration. In fact, there are many people from certain part of the country, they don't think that Abacha stole money. If you ask them, they say that Abacha was saving those monies that you see, the monies you are seeing being repatriated back to this country. Despite the fact that they know that this money has been repatriated, they believe that Abacha was not a thief. He didn't steal any money, that he was saving the money for Nigeria. This is despite the fact that Abacha's family took federal government to court, claiming that the money that are being repatriated as Abacha loot belongs to their father. That it belongs to their father. Can you beat that? That it belonged to their father. Yet some Nigerians insist the man was not corrupt. With the amount of billions of dollars that have been returned, you ask yourself, what was the salary of Abacha as a soldier from the day he was recruited? And what was his duties that were generating this good money for him? Is it that he was an investor and left his core duty of soldiering? That was why, because of these people who believed that Abacha was not a thief, that was why Obasanjo did everything possible to extract as much money as possible from the Abacha route when he was president. Let me give you a typical example. You can go and verify it. Go and cross-check what I'm telling you. Obasanjo said that one of the most difficult things for him to do was to allow the Abacha family to take $100 million. Why did Obasanjo allow the Abacha family to take $100 million? The Abacha family took federal government to court, in various courts in Europe, to stop the repatriation of the money. That is their father's money. But even the European bankers know that it couldn't have been possible for their father to go. But they are going to court can disturb the process to the level that they may drag the matter for 8 years. Obasanjo will not get a penny. So Obasanjo said that he did one of the most difficult things. It was one of the most difficult positions he has to take to allow the Abacha. He now reached the negotiating with the Abacha family that, okay, we're going to give you $100 million so that you allow the federal government to be able to get the rest of the money. Because Obasanjo was fearing that what happened to the case of the Marcos in Philippines, where the government of Philippines were dragging in court with the Marcos family until the government left out of power. For 21 years, they were in court over the Marcos loot in Philippines. So Obasanjo, being a smart leader, decided to negotiate instead of dragging this matter to court endlessly. And if not for what he did, when Buhari took over in 2015, perhaps it would have been more difficult to even classify Abacha loot as a loot. Because despite all the things Buhari was talking about that he's against corruption, he never one day said anything wrong about Abacha, that Abacha was corrupt. Please, if you see anywhere Buhari said that Abacha was corrupt, please put it on the comment box. Show me the link to disprove what I'm telling you. So you find out that in Nigeria, we do selective outrage about corruption, depending on the religion and the ethnicity of the one who is corrupt. That is how our outrage. We must learn to be outraged at all times. Let there be universality in our outrage against corruption, against bribery, against allegations of bribery and corruption, and not be selective. Now, to Mmesoma, she had been accused of falsifying her JAMB results. And the investigations by both JAMB and the Anambra State government has confirmed that she did it. At least that's what we are told now. But even before the finished investigation, people had already condemned this young lady. I'm okay with the fact that she had to pay a price for what she did. Perhaps she didn't know what she was innocent of those plotters. But what I do not agree is those who are saying that she didn't win an award, because I don't know any award that was in existence before the JAMB exam was taken. An innocent award which had been withdrawn from her right now. I didn't know that innocent advertised that. Please, if there's anywhere innocent advertised in 2002 or in years back that anybody who scored highest in Nigeria or in Anambra State, that you will give the person scholarship, please, you can put it on the commentary box so that we verify it. So whatever may be the case, she has gotten her common pass. It's okay. But let other leaders also get their common pass. Let us not be selective in our outrage, in our condemnation. Let us call evil, evil, no matter whose us is God. That is the real issue. There are so many things that information that came out from the election petition tribunal. Many of those who are condemning and who condemned Mmesoma, they never condemned it. In fact, they want they don't want anybody to hear about it. They are even outraged that some sections of the media even brought them out. For example, at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, the PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, presented to the court evidence of inconsistency in the certificate of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. Enahoro Eba, who identified himself as a public interest litigator, told the court that his attorney in the United States obtained Mr. Tinubu's academic records from Chicago State University. He said the university was subpoenaed by a U.S. court to release Tinubu's academic records. And he quotes, I'm quoting him now, what he presented to the court. Perhaps when you hear it, this is the first time you are hearing it. They didn't want you to hear about it. Okay, only very few media houses was able to go to this level of bringing out the quotes from the court. Yet, those media organizations, those individuals found their voice in condemnation of Mmesoma, which was right. It's right that she was condemned. But let us not be selective in our condemnation. Now, I'll quote him now. He said, I obtained the academic records from Chicago State University purporting to belong to Mr. Tinubu with a forwarding letter by my counsel based in Chicago. A subpoena was issued to the Chicago State University, which gave out the academic records. A copy of the actual degree certificate issued by Chicago State University and Mr. Tinubu's admission letter dated 1977 is attached, Mr. Enahoro Eba told the court. He said the degree certificate from Chicago State University bears the name Tinubu Bola Adekunle. Mr. Enahoro Eba also tendered Mr. Tinubu's transcript from the Southwest College in the United States. And he added that the transcript issued in 1977 identified Mr. Tinubu as a female. You didn't hear any outrage about this. We know that this is just an evidence what presented. But if it were another person, let us say that it was Peter Obi's certificate that was being tendered and being questioned in the court like this. You will see the condemnation on Twitter everywhere. It will be the talk of the talk show hosts in all the major television houses in Nigeria. They will invite people from all over the place to talk about Peter Obi's certificate, Peter Obi's name. Why is Peter Obi bearing the? Why is he bearing the? Why is he a female at the University of? Why did the University of Nigeria Nsukka identify Peter Obi as a female? We must find the root of this. Nobody did that in this case because we're a country who are involved, where we have many people that only are trained selectively. He said he added that the transcript issued in 1977 identified Mr. Tinubu as female. Those who are condemned Mmesoma, did they condemn this? Did they even want it to be they don't even want people to hear about it. The court also admitted the documents as exhibit. In addition, the court admitted a notarized judgment of criminal forfeiture of Tinubu's assets over alleged drug trafficking in the US. The witness equally presented a National Youth Service discharge certificate bearing the name Adekunle. Bearing the name Adekunle. So you find out that in this country, we tend to be selectively outraged. We tend to be selectively outraged. And we have to be outraged totally when we see a bad thing. We have to be totally outraged. We have to be totally outraged and not being selectively outraged. We must learn to be totally outraged and not being selectively outraged. Nobody is in support of what Mmesoma did. No reasonable person should support that. No reasonable person should support that. So you can see the allegation that was leveled against Tinubu about the allegation of forgery, allegation of money laundering, allegation of forfeiture of $460,000, proceeds of narcotics. But why were they not? Well, the people that were outraged, go and check the trade, go and check the walls, the Twitter walls of all these people that were condemning Mmesoma, whether they said anything about those damning information that came out of the court when that witness appeared for Atiku Abubakar. And also when the matter of Tinubu was presented under Peter Obi's cross-examination. So you cannot pick and choose what to condemn. You must be able to condemn everything. You don't have to be selective. You don't have to be selective in your condemnation. You don't have to be selective in your condemnation. You condemn everything that is bad. Not because, don't allow your condemnation to wear tribal mark. Condemn it. Don't condemn something because it's Peter Obi that did it. But if it's another person, you tolerate it. Yes. Let there be universality in your condemnation. And of course, there have been many interesting analogies that have been drawn between Peter Obi and Mmesoma, between Tinubu and Mmesoma in this issue of forgery. And one of the words I found very interesting that I decided that we should just look at it is the one by Aisha Yesufu. You know her. Aisha Yesufu of the Bring Back Our Girls fame. She's a renowned human rights activist. This is what she wrote in comparison between Mmesoma and Tinubu. This is what he wrote. What she wrote. I'm quoting her now. What she wrote. She said, Tinubu fraudulently occupying the highest political office in the land through forgery and rigging is what is most unfortunate and has given room for more children to say, if Tinubu can do it, why not they? Reason Nigerians must focus on the judiciary to do the needful. I think I will paste Aisha Yesufu's tweet on the screen so that you can read it yourself. For those who don't have time to go to her wall to go and read it. In another tweet, she wrote, Mmesoma forged results to be the highest JAMB scorer, just as Bola Ahmed Tinubu rigged the election to be declared one with the highest number of votes. Punishing one, rightfully so, and leaving the other is to send a disastrous message that forgery is not the crime, but the level at which you do it. The next time you want to defend Tinubu's rigging, ask yourself how you felt with Mmesoma's forgery. That's her words. It's on her Twitter wall. You can go and check it out. I may put part of it on your screen so that you can be witness to a woman of courage saying it the way it is. You can see that she condemned both the woman, Mmesoma, and condemned Tinubu. She didn't spare anyone. That is the lesson that I expect from all our leaders, opinion holders. When you condemn, let it have universality, like Aisha Yesufu. She condemned the young girl, for forgery and said she deserved to be punished. She also condemned the alleged forgery against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But those who condemned her only and not condemned the alleged allegation against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are also in the bracket of what the revered Nelson Mandela said. They don't deserve to be leaders in a society because they don't have no principle. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.